Well, isn't that a pretty sight? Hello, everybody. This is Frogman, and welcome back to Satisfactory. You've got most of the basic portion of the diluted fuel refinery process set up. We're going to go down there and check it out in a minute. I came up here to kind of do a little bit of looking around because it was a nice, big, tall place, and I might accidentally put a hyper tube up here so we can kind of do this. But it's a good high ground area to kind of take a look around and see what's going on without having to be flying around. And as you guys can see, I know it's a lot of trees. I know it's a lot of trees, and I know there's a lot of stuff out here. But once you get rid of most of those trees, it's going to be reasonably buildable for the most part. There are a few of these large rocks out here that, well, you know, you're going to have to contend with. And likely what we're going to end up doing is building just a massive platform out there, just so we can stack a whole bunch of fuel generators on top of it. Now, looking, let me see, that's the desert cliffs, I believe, that are going to get worked on, and I don't know if I've touched on this lately, but again, the devs have stated there's going to be some serious work done over in the Spire Coast area, this spot up here, so I kind of want to stay as far away from that area as I possibly can, at least for now. So we're going to build a whole lot of stuff over in this area. Now, there's a lot of resources, there's a lot of other good things out here. We may do another there's an area. Let's see if I can get it to come up here real quick. It should be right there. Yes, yeah, right there where that 400 is. There are 5 or 6 pure iron nodes. So if we really want to make a whole lot of iron, any kind of iron, like screws or anything that needs to go out there, we'll probably build another iron factory out in that area to do some more work for us, because some of the projects that we're going to need are going to require an awful lot of iron. So especially the plates, I think I can't really remember as far as which one of these up here is really going to suck down a lot of those parts, but we're gonna do another major project out there. So today what I want to do, now that we've got most of that built up and built in, let me take a run and jump off the you know what, let's see if we can do this without breaking our legs. Put that on, and and do this. Nope, missed it. Put it on. Dang it. That's all right. That's cool. That's why we did it. That's why I build over water when I can anyway. So let's go take a quick look at everything that's going to go on here. I've got it all piped in. I've got it all wired, at least down here on the bottom. We're going to split this into, what is it? I think 3 or 4 or 5 per. So the first 10 are run with 5 of these. The next 10 are run with 5 of these. And then the last 7, I believe, are going to be run with the last, I think it's 4 or 5, whatever it was. I forget exactly the number. 7, actually, I think. 7 into 10 is whatever. But we're going to try to just at least split it up and make it look reasonably decent. So it's going to pump water from the base floor up to the next floor. And we're going to come up here. We're going to look at this mess. You can turn your flashlight on. It's a little dark still. I have, like I said, split this into 10s. So it should be 10 trios of packager, unpackager, refinery, and then the last is going to be left over, and we're going to kind of try to make it look kind of interesting. Yeah, I know I didn't have to do this, and there's going to be, we're doing the building stage, and while we're doing the building stage, I'm kind of thinking of the decorating stage, or at least trying to make things look pretty cool while we're at it. I have already lined out the inputs for the heavy oil residue from the floor above. Every single one of these refineries is going to get its own input from the top. We're going to do the splitting up top in that floor up there, and on the back side here, I've got all of the these packager, unpackager critters set up so that we're going to kind of mess around with something like this. So because, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something like this. We may go up a little bit higher because of the fact that these can pump up to 10 meters from the already very tall interface on the face of them. So this already almost, well, what is this, 4 meters? It's already almost 4 meters up in the air, which means technically it's going to be possible for it to pump, well, at least that high. So we may, I'm not exactly set on this, I'm just kind of fooling around with this. We may actually take these and build them up that high, because this is just step number 1 in the process of making turbo fuel. And I say step number 1. This is like number, what, 3? I think this will be number 3. So we'll process the oil up top into heavy oil residue that'll get down here and turned into fuel that will then be moved somewhere else to be turned into turbo fuel once we build the compacted coal. So it's kind of a long, drawn-out process, and some of it we're going to probably work on and some of it we won't. Like I said, I didn't bother inviting you guys to come hang out and watch through the belting and the plumbing. It's just running pipes and making pipes look nice. But things like this are something that you should consider, because if I take this that high, which I think we can probably do, it's pretty close, right? I mean, I think probably more along the lines of 2 of these high might be the way to do this. The thing we can do is, because this can pump that high, we can pump it up that high and then have this flow into the tank on the bottom and then use the output on that to get anywhere we need to go and make use of gravity. So it's going to save us pumping later on, because, I mean, if you look at the output of this, at this point, we're, well, pretty stinking high. That's high enough. I get on top without losing my stuff. That's probably high enough to get all the way over to, well, wherever we want to go to. So, I mean, we can't go all the way up there, but we could for sure get down into that valley over behind here and build out where we need to go. So I may end up just doing 2 of these tall and not bother messing with that, and then pump this using these, I think, that high. I mean, let's check one more time. We're kind of goofing around. Got nothing else to do for a little bit. Let's just, we're kind of umming and on the what we want to do today. So generally, it's going to be able to pump. I'm going to round again because it's actually the middle of that line. So if we do this correctly, we do it with these. So 1, 2, 3. So we'll just say that 3 of those tall is however it can go. If we grab 2 of those and then 2 of those, I'm going to say it can do it. Pretty stinking close. That's really close. It's going to be worth fooling with, and it's something that we can definitely play with as we go along. What we're going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and change this to something like this. That's going to suck because that means that's going to have to go that way, but whatever. That just gives you an idea of how tall things are, and then you can do something like this to fill the other one, and then we'll have to pull out from here, which is, you know, actually fine with me. But that'll give us a little bit of lift that we can then play with, and because these will translate between the tanks and down the pipe and out the way, that'll actually do the work for us, and that'll get us, again, 10 meters from that point up in the air. That'll get us where we need to go. So I'm going to do that real quick, I think, and then we're going to go upstairs. Okay, let's go jump upstairs and start working on the next project, or at least the rest of this thing. So by the end of the day, we should be able to at least light most of this project up and get some fuel out of it. So what's really neat about this next part is how, well, I should say neat. It's easier. It makes it easier. At least things are a little bit slightly easier on us, is the fact that this is a simple, easy ratio to fool with, unlike the one that's going to be downstairs. So let me, actually, I want to move these back just a little bit. I want to move you back just a little bit, just a teeny tiny room. We've got plenty of room, plus it won't really matter if we're going to need room for the piping. Let me put it like this. Piping is not going to be easy on this one. It's going to, because of the angle of the dangle here, I love that term, because of the angle at which we're trying to go through the floor right here, I can't take a, where is this, pipe, any old pipe. I can't take this pipeline crossing. Come on, let's get a pipe so we can show the people. If I do, and I might be able to cheese it a little bit, we might be able to do something like this. But it's going to be one of those things. If I do this, I don't think that's deep enough to get down. Oh, hey, it's going to work this time. Cool. All right. I fiddled around with this a little bit earlier, and I was having a really hard time because that almost is not tall enough to work. But I guess it's one of those things you're going to learn as you kind of mess around, that you need to kind of play with the game and figure out what's the easiest way to do things. Sometimes putting the pipe down is a lot easier first. Sometimes putting the junction crosses is down a lot easier first. But at least what we can do is something along this line, and you're going to be in the end of that thing, aren't you? Well, that's going to be a little awkward, isn't it? Give me that. Thank you. So part of the fun is trying to figure out how you want to do things. Yeah, and I may. It's going to be annoying, but hey, we'll see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do about making this look okay for the second. Okay, so the reason why I put down 3 of these refineries is because we should be able to use a decent ratio between these 2 sets of refineries. So between these here and the ones below, we should be able to come up with something. So because of the fact the diluted fuel recipe right here is going to end up using 30 heavy oil residue per minute, and these are going to make 40 heavy oil residue per minute. 30 and 40 share a common friend, and that's 120. So technically, we don't even need to be using this stuff up here. We could just kind of do whatever we want to do with it. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that we're going to at least get as much as we can, evenly spread between the 4 downstairs. So if we work on the fact that 120 is produced, but 120 oil per minute is produced by these, or I should say heavy oil residue is produced by these, and we're going to use 120 out of 4 of these down here, then we just make sets of 3 up here to power the sets of 4 below it. So I'm going to go ahead and build those real quick. We're going to get probably, I don't know, I don't think I'm going to light all of them today. Again, we're going to control how much fuel we're going to be producing by how many of these we turn on today. One cool thing that I did find out, though, is the spacing is exactly a refinery. So that should actually work once again. So we do this. That worked real nice. I'm glad I took the second to do that. Let's see what we can do. Is this still on horizontal vertical? Yes, it is. So that's why that works. All righty then. Where are you? You need to go there, 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 and then rotate there, there. I'm so glad that worked. See that now there it's not working. Why are you not working? Did I use the wrong pipe? Let me see. Down, up. Try something other than horizontal vertical. See, like now the point is, why is it not working? It was fine a minute ago. It worked on this one, but it didn't work on these. Awesome. Okay. Anyhow, I'm gonna do a little bit of work and we'll get this figured out, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Simple, easy monster. It's just a monstrosity that's gonna make some stuff for us. So I got it all wired, I got it all plumbed, we got it all built up on top, and I'm down here kind of sorting a couple of things out. I think the first thing we need to do to plug in a couple of things is let's make sure our water is going to function correctly. I'm going to have to redo a lot of the plumbing, the wiring. Wiring is one of those things you kind of wait until you got everything the way you want it, and then you start over. But we should just need to do this, and that. Are we getting anywhere? Alrighty. Now I'm using the regular Mark 1 pumps here because they can lift it high enough to get up to the next section. It's the beauty of the pumps, period, is they care about what kind of flow rate the pipe they're connected to has, not whether or not they can actually pump that fast. So it's not that you need to use a Mark 2 pump right there to get the stuff up to top to be able to do it. It'll work just fine, and it'll use less power. So that should be water, and I see water all the way down. If you look, you can just barely see the blue in that little thing. Awesome. Cool. Now, we need to go back over to the train station and go pick up some canisters and start feeding them into this mess. And we're going to kind of play around with this a little bit. So everything should go. We just need to kind of turn things on as we need to turn things on. How many did you end up making? Should be enough, because we really only need about 50 canisters, maybe 60 canisters in each of the machines. So let's start with the first 4, because I want to kind of go slow with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this, and this, and this, and give you, let me have it. So no power, that's fine, cool, we're good. 1, I didn't want to give you 100 of them. I said 50, dang it. Give me 50. Shift clicking is getting me again. The bounding box on these are a little weird too. It's like you got to be almost all the way in the machine to catch it. So let's see. It's 1, 2, and I screwed this one up. 3 and 4, and we should have lots of water right here. Yep, we do. Good. All the way down. Everything looks good. All right, let's turn those 4 on and see what happens. So if we grab that wire and do that, did I not hook that up? Oh, right, I didn't hook that up. Way to go. Let's do this instead. I want to hook them up over here. So click to there, to that. There they go, filling up their little cans. I guess we'll see what happens. I'm concerned that we're not going to have enough oomph to get it up here, plus we have to wait for the buffers in these to fill up before everything gets out exactly set. It's one of those things, again, fluids, you're gonna have to play with them a little bit. Make sure your buffers come up before you start trying to troubleshoot anything. And if you have to shut machines off, you know, turn them off, put them on standby so that their buffers fill up completely, because sometimes they'll just not ever fill up. Like this one's gonna sit here and play around and play around and play around. If I shut it off, we give a little bit of pressure behind us, you should see the number come flying up here in a second. There it goes. Sometimes you have to do that, especially with the like the coal generators. I had problems with that. So did you dump all 50 of those in here? Where did they all go? You have all 43 of them ready to go. They're all nicely full of water. Wonderful. Cool. So what's going to happen is we're going to shove those into these refineries right here, and they're going to go in and become part of this mess. Now, we don't want to turn these on just yet because there's no point in having them run right now. I'm going to run down the line, and I'm going to put a handful of these in here. I think I'm going to start with like the first 3 sets. So that's 4, and then I'm going to get all these done, and then we're going to go up top and we're going to settle the rest of this. So I will be back in just a second. All Alrighty then, so we got everything sorted, and we ended up having to build things in a kind of a certain fashion. Namely, we had to kind of pick things up because of the fact that I had to do a couple of things like that, and I still need to kind of go back and clean up some of the mess here because I used the mod to kind of do the work, to do the conveyor belting and all that kind of fun stuff, and we still have a couple of pieces here and there that are not where they need to be, but that's fine. Let me have it, please. Thank you. Give me this one more time. Good. So we should have 3 sets of these ready to go, so it should be working to right there. Now, all we got to do is go plug in some oil and turn these on. So I don't know. Can I reach the... Oh, we got to go down and do... We got to go do a pump first anyway. Hang on. Let's go do a pump down here. Yeah, I know. I got a really crappy lineup. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Spaghetti is okay. We all like spaghetti. Spaghetti is tasty. All right, so this thing is good for 50 meters. That's quite a ways up, so we're going to have to look and see, is it going to make it up over the top? Come on. Yeah, okay, we should be all right there. We'll give that one a little squeeze, and we'll give it a little bit of power, which I think I can do from right over there. Yes. You're on. All right, let's go turn this thing back on. And that should... There we go. Here comes the oil. Very nice, very nice. What do we got over here? Come in. Up comes the pump, up comes the stuff, and then it'll get over there and start doing the work. It's already pushing it up. We've got it to that point, looks like. All right, let's go up top. We'll leave that the way that it is right now. It's not a big problem. All right, so we have a full pipe of oil, which means we got our awesome sink hooked up, ready to go. Cool, let's go do that. Boop. And those should pump down, as we stated earlier. So you're working. Yep, we're eating up the goodness. We'll eventually do something with this. Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. We'll see. All right, so we should start having some stuff fall down these pipes. They're starting to fill. See a little bit of purple in a few of them. Good deal. We're going to give it a little bit to kind of buffer up and do what it needs to do. Yeah, we got to give it a little bit. We need to make... That's going to have to run for a couple of seconds so that it fills these pipes up. Yeah, looks like we're doing it. Half full, that's fine. All right, let's go throw some power at these refineries, and that should kick off the silly mess that will be the heart and the pain that probably is going to be... Yeah, we're not that much over. We should be okay, I think. Famous last words. Get it. There they go. Sweet. And these guys are unpacking them. That has to wait till it has 2 in it before it unpacks them, but it should continuously unpack things. And we get on here, we should see packages, canisters floating along the little lines underneath. Very good, very nice, wonderful, awesome. And we should be seeing fuel to there. Now I'm gonna question whether it's gonna pump it high enough. We may have screwed up. I might have to put a pump right here. Let's see, are they emptying? There's nothing in them. There's a little bit of fuel in it. Very nice. That should be emptying into the bottom one. I hear it working. So we'll have to kind of watch it and see what happens. How are we doing on power? We're doing fine. Okay, cool. I was concerned that was going to be a monster. That means we could probably go ahead and turn the whole thing on if we wanted to. I still think I'm going to do this a different direction, though. I don't like how that looks. Let's just put this kinda. That where it goes? Yes. Okay, cool. And then we'll just. That's not where that goes. Wow, you're way off. I think it was centered on that line right there. Right there. Yeah. All right, cool. Boom. Okay, so each one of these sets, each one of these banks should be 600 fuel per minute. And then what we're going to do with that fuel is we're going to pull it out the back, probably about like this, and then take it up front, which I kind of started looking at this and realized we kind of built this very wrong. I should not have built it the direction that I did, because now I'm going to have to pull stuff from the back of the system to the other side of the system. But hey, what's a little bit of logistics for the funsies of it? So awesome. All right, cool. I am happy we have a little bit of stuff. Does that mean, what am I short? Motors and computers. Motors. There you are. Motors, give me some more of these too. Thank you. And computers, give me, and let's build, for giggles, a fuel generator. I mean, for that matter, I could build one and just plug it into every single one of these and it won't really matter for the minute. Now, we're not going, we are going to do the turbo fuel. We are doing turbo fuel. We're going to set that up as soon as we can. I just want to have a little bit of fun making some noise. So, boop. And that's not what I need to do. I need to do this to there, then this to that. Sweet. Got a little bit of bump in power. This is not where we're gonna put them permanently. I'm just putting them down for fun. We're just having fun right now. I'm gonna set about 5 or 6 of these up if we can. I'm short rubber. How am I out of stuff? Let me put some more of these down. One. Is there another space? Might as well put them to use, right? Hey, we're out of motors again. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Alrighty then. I know they're loud. I know they're kind of crazy. So cool. We have a decent amount of fuel started on. With those, that means I can start expanding and doing a few more things. I'm going to go get a couple of more deals. I'm going to actually probably just do this anyway. For right now, we're just going to slap a bunch of these down on the back side of here and just let them run this system for a while. We should be able to somewhat recoup at least a good portion of what we're using. But it's working, and it's working, and it looks like everything. I see a little yellow down there on the end. It's probably because those machines are back stuffed, yes? Yeah, you're back stuffed because I didn't put anything in those, did I? Did I miss some? Look at me. Did I miss some, or are you guys not working? We're gonna need more canisters. I'm kind of figuring it's probably gonna be about 100 per, right? Did I not put any in these? Oh, we're backed up. That's fine. That's okay. That's fine. I'm good with that. Cool, cool, cool. Duh. It's like, what the heck is the problem? It's not the problem. Let's see if we can sneak another one of those in here instead of doing what you're doing. Cool. Well, I'm going to quit, guys. I'm sitting here having a messing around. We're having a good time. I'm going to finish hooking up everything, getting everything running, and then I'm going to try to see if I can stress test it a little bit. So we'll make sure that we try to fill up as many of these as we can and try to just goof around. But I think for right now, that's fuel done. 1,600 once it's all hooked up and running. Next time, we're going to start working on the next fun part, which is probably going to be making compacted coal. And then thinking about where we're going to build 70 some odd refineries to make turbo fuel. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. It's been a little bit of fun, and these are the projects we're going to start doing. When we get this all started running and everything finished, I will come back and make it look pretty, because right now it's just a bunch of stuff sticking up in the air. But for now, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.